back to 5, the podcast that goes over 5 different things.
That's right. We go over 5 different things.
Yeah.
What are we going over today?
Today we're going over the best Batman movies.
5 best Batman movies. That's a good list.
Yeah, I mean,
it's going to be interesting.
I feel like it's an important list for this day and time.
I agree.
I think most people are very interested in it. They want to know more about it.
Mm-hmm.
Just the amount of Batman movies we've had in the last few years is sort of mind-boggling.
It's kind of crazy.
And like, to be fair, we've talked. We have another podcast that's just on hiatus right now, which is Super Sideshow,
right? That's
talked about why Marvel and DC have different schemes for their comic book movies,
mm-hmm.
and like Marvel wants to have a cohesive comic book universe,
right?
And DC does not care. In fact, DC doesn't care when it comes to movies or their comics. I think their comics had another. I think the comics just had another universal reset.
Huh.
So and like, I think they have it at this point. I can't even keep up. I don't even know what their business model is. I have no idea.
Well, they tried with the whole Zack Snyder thing, but that didn't work out.
It could have worked out if they would have supported it, but they didn't.
Was it good enough though?
I thought Justice League, the Justice League revamped version that he put out during COVID, I thought was great. I thought it was a long 8-hour movie.
I think it was 3.5 hours.
I watched the whole thing. I was riveted.
Really? Okay.
But his view of the universe is kind of problematic. And here's the problem: we can't count his Ben Affleck Batman as part of this because he didn't have his own movie.
Agreed. Not that it matters really, but yeah.
I think Ben Affleck Batman was pretty good.
Okay.
It's very similar to the Frank Miller kind of version.
Right. Right.
Another Batman that I can't comment on because I haven't watched it is the Batman that came out.
You haven't watched that yet? No,
I probably won't watch it.
Why not?
So, I don't know, man. I'm not interested in it. I've heard the Penguin's really good, but I'm just not. It's just not. I don't know.
Okay.
I mean, give me a reason to watch it.
Well, we'll see. We'll see as we're doing our lists here. Maybe there will be a reason for you to watch it. I don't know.
No. All right, let's get started. My number 5 is The Dark Knight Rises by Christopher Nolan.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, it's my 5th one. It's not a great movie.
Yeah.
It has some issues. I think any movie that has a nuclear bomb as a plot device is not good. And I feel like Christopher Nolan kind of knew that.
That was the plot. I didn't remember that was the plot device. Okay.
Oh, yeah. So, it's a whole thing, but basically Bane comes back to finish.
Wait. You're talking The Dark Knight Rises?
Dark Knight Rises, the last Christopher Nolan.
Oh, okay. I thought you just said The Dark Knight. Okay.
No, not there yet.
Okay. All right.
Dark Knight Rises has Bane, no one cared about me.
That voice was the best part of that movie.
Yeah, it was great. I actually try to do it sometimes, and people think I don't do a very good Bane, but I don't care. Yeah. Oh, so darkness is your ally.
There's a comedian that has a movies podcast that does a really good Bane impersonation.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah.
I think, here's the problem with that movie. They made Bane such a cool character for a long time, and then all of a sudden he wasn't cool anymore. The last 10 minutes. So I don't think Christopher Nolan wanted to make this movie. I don't think he cared too much about it.
I mean, that's kind of crazy because he signed up for 3 movies. Why wouldn't he?
Yeah, but it's the classic problem. We'll get to Dark Knight in a little bit. It's the classic problem when the middle movie is better than anything else. I mean, when you look at Empire Strikes Back, you can't do any better than that. And so, of course, Return of the Jedi is going to be absolute butt. And it's just every time you do, I feel like the first movie is warming up, trying to figure out what you want to do.
Yeah.
Then the second movie is perfection. You figure it out. This is exactly what you want. But then you got to do a third movie.
Yeah.
I think the third movie thing is problematic. I'll be I'm not doing 2. I'm not doing 3. I'm doing 2. I'm not doing 3.
Maybe the third one's always the trilogy should replace the trilogy.
I completely agree. I think the trilogy is problematic because it's never the third one is never as good. It's never works.
Do you
out.
think it's Peter Jackson's The Lord of the Rings movies that really well, I guess Star Wars.
Star Wars did trilogy.
Star Wars solidified the trilogy, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. But you know what? I do think that Lord of the Rings, The Two Kings, was it Two Kings? No, Return of the King.
You know what? I think Star Wars put the idea out there, and then Lord of the Rings solidified it. Because if you look at the number of movies where there have been trilogies, that definitely accelerated after the Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, there's lots of trilogies, but like
not a whole lot before that though. Like after Star Wars, before
there were not many trilogies. There were not. No, there are not many trilogies before that. But anyway, going back to Batman. So, Dark Knight Rises, conceptually, I think it's a beautiful movie, and the ideas behind it work out really well, and it does touch on a lot of cool comic book movies, like comic book ideas, especially from like Nightfall and stuff like that. Like Nightfall, when I forget the storyline when Gotham has an earthquake and stuff like that. It's like there's a lot of good things about it, but he couldn't tie it all together very well. And so Dark Knight Rises is definitely number 5 for me.
Okay. My number 5 is the movie that I thought you were talking about, The Dark Knight. So number 5 means it's not your favorite. It's the 5th best Batman movie.
Okay, that's a crazy thing to say, but I'm here.
It's definitely the best Christopher Nolan Batman movie, for sure.
Yes.
I mean, you've got Heath Ledger's performance. Like you said, it's the best version of Christopher Nolan's Batman movies. But I don't think I don't know. Just for whatever reason, the Christopher Nolan Batman movies don't resonate with me as much as they do other people.
What? Why?
It's just not my version of Batman.
Okay.
Like I don't know. I grew up on Adam West Batman. That's what kind of set the. Obviously, I don't expect all Batman to be like that, but that's where Batman originated with me, is watching Adam West on TV. And I don't know, The Dark Knight just doesn't fit that. I can see that they're pretty good. They're fairly good movies. The Dark Knight being the best of the 3. But I don't know. Like, I don't think my Batman went to Shangri-La to get trained in martial arts. Yeah. I don't know.
Wait, where did he get trained?
I think he just boxing gyms around Gotham or something. I don't know.
Okay.
Like, where is there a canonical this is how Batman got trained?
Well, that's interesting. So the canonical idea is that he left, just went away and studied overseas and around the world.
Really?
For about 15 years, maybe 10 years, and then came back and became Batman.
Okay.
There's no there probably is a comic book origin story for him, but the idea is that at some point, probably around 18, 19, maybe 16, he left Gotham and just traveled the world and just learned every way possible to fight, everything you could learn about everything. He just spent his entire time learning, achieving, trying to figure out not just how to be a fighter, but how to be a detective.
Maybe he was doing street fighting and stuff around the world, different.
Yeah, not just, street fighting, but also just every martial arts you can imagine. It went everywhere you could possibly do.
That would have been more. I'm just still going to one guru in some mysterious place. Just didn't. I didn't like it.
Well, that's fair, and that's that's kind of touching into Batman Begins territory, which we're going to get to in a second. Yeah. But I think Christopher Nolan had some stuff he had to just deal with. We'll get to
that's just an example of how Christopher Nolan's Batman doesn't resonate with me.
That's fair. That's fair. I mean, if you look at the Tim Burton Batmans, he's a lot more vague. Mm-hmm. It's a lot more abstract. It's a lot more theoretical Batman than actually practical Batman. Yeah. So it's a whole different way of looking at him. If you want a Batman that seems like a little more mysterious, more mythos than actual real, then you want the Tim Burton styles. Yeah. But if you like the more gritty, realistic Batman, then Christopher Nolan is definitely your style. I haven't seen the Matt Reeves Batman, so I haven't seen the Batman. But did you like it? Do you think it's something more?
All right, let's get it out of the way. The Batman is my number 4.
Okay, well, go ahead. Go ahead.
It's a really good Batman. I think it does a better job than Christopher Nolan of being a dark and gritty Batman. It's more grounded, you know. Let's face it. I don't care if you're a billionaire or not. You're not going to be able to build all those fancy toys. Because you can't do that and be anonymous. You've got to have legions of people building those fancy toys for you.
Yeah.
In the Batman, he's got a really cool, but it's a real Batmobile that a billionaire could have, and he could build it secretly, and nobody knows, you know, whose that is. Mm-hmm. You know, it goes into more of him being like the detective. There's a lot of detective stuff in the Batman. I just think it does a way better job of pulling off a dark and gritty Batman than Christopher Nolan did.
I should check it out.
You should definitely check it out. Yeah.
And so, man, I'm going on a long flight.
Yeah, watch the movie first, and then if you liked it, watch the Penguin series. Penguin series is pretty good too.
Probably won't do that. My number 4 is Batman Returns. Tim Burton Batman Returns.
Okay.
With
good placement.
What's his name? What's his name again?
Michael Keaton.
Michael Keaton. I don't like watching this movie, but I respect it and understand it. I think Tim Burton is a hack. I think that he's not very good at what he does. I just don't. And
Tim Burton's good. Tim Burton's
he's made some okay movies. His Willy Wonka
his Batman movies are definitely grounded in. This is a comic book movie. They have a comic book look. They have a comic book feel to them.
Kinda.
They're not trying to be realistic.
Listen. I don't like Tim Burton maybe because of just him and his style. But I mean his Sleepy Hollow was actually pretty good.
Mars Attacks.
What?
Wasn't he Mars Attacks too?
But I didn't see that
movie.
I can't stand. He did Planet of the Apes just because he had to.
Yeah, that's a
contractual issue.
Yeah.
It was absolutely terrible. Absolutely terrible. Yeah. I think, you know what, that movie was so bad that I got angry when I went to see it. I was like, when I actually came out the theater, I was like, I hate.
Why did you go to see it?
Because I just thought it was Tim Burton. At the time, I liked Tim Burton. I was like, this is a Tim Burton movie. It's going to be great. Okay. And then when I saw it, I was like, this is one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my life.
That's what turned you against Tim Burton was the,
absolutely.
All right. Makes sense.
But if you turn off the sound and simply watch Batman Returns, it's a beautiful movie. It's like it's directed well. It has a lot of cool set pieces. It's really fun. It makes no sense whatsoever. I mean, I can't believe Danny DeVito was the Penguin, and I really can't believe that Michelle Pfeiffer was the Catwoman. That's insane.
What are you talking about?
Well, it's just if you look at all these pieces of this puzzle in this movie, they don't really fit well together. You know, and like what is this? Like how did this movie even come to be? It's like as soon as you start watching it, you're on a weird roller coaster that you just cannot get off of. It's just a crazy movie, but I think I respect it enough to give it a slot here. You know what? I give it a slot, but I wouldn't recommend people watch it. Just understand that it exists.
I was watching Batman trailers right before we started recording just to make sure that my list is the way I want it to be. And I was playing the Batman Returns trailer, and my wife was like, "This makes me think of like the Christmas Carol or something." Like it's giving off those vibes.
Yeah, that's good.
It's definitely set at Christmas. So
yeah, Christopher. What's his name? Christopher. What's that actor's name? The one that talks funny.
Christopher Walken.
Yeah, he's the best part about that movie. He's great.
Is he in? Yeah.
He's a villain. He's like the villain in there. My number 4, since you already did your number 4. I mean, my number 3. I'm sorry, which is Batman Begins, which is the first Christopher Nolan.
Oh, okay.
And like, I understand. So if you watch,
okay, all right, okay, never mind.
So if you watch,
so you got all 3 of the Christopher Nolan Batman movies in your list.
Absolutely,
okay,
absolutely. Right. But so if you watch this, it's stylistically it's beautiful. It's filmed amazingly, and to your point, the idea that he does leave for I think he's gone for 10 years. he spends most of that time in the street. We don't know what he did or how he did. So he's gone for 10 years, but we don't know exactly what he was doing those 10 years. So he probably was learning how to street fight and stuff like that. So he wasn't just. Ooh, there you go. He wasn't just studying with Ra's al Ghul. And also, too, Christopher Nolan wanted to shoehorn Ra's al Ghul into the Batman origin story, which I don't think necessarily happens like that. But I liked it. I thought it was a great fun movie. I think Batman Begins is excellent to watch. It still has some of those Christopher Nolan kind of problems. Katie Holmes is sort of like a robot the whole time. But I think that what's his face? What's his
Katie
name?
Holmes gets replaced in the second Christopher Nolan movie.
Yeah, that's true. What's his name? The guy, the guy.
What are you talking about?
Batman. What's his name? I keep forgetting his name. This is the greatest podcast ever. We just forget people's names.
He played American Psycho.
Yeah, what's his name?
Christian Bale.
Yeah, Christian. I think he's great. But all the pieces of that movie were put together very well to catapult it to the next movie afterwards. So that's my number 3. So what's your number 2?
My number 3.
Number 3. What's your number?
My number 3 is Batman Returns.
So we
just talked about that. Yeah, Michael Keaton, Danny DeVito. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to do your number 2?
It's kind of, I wonder if like Danny DeVito looks at that and is like, what did I do that for? Hey, how old was Danny DeVito when he did that?
I don't know, man. Danny DeVito is kind of like an ageless being, right?
I know, right? Like, how old is he?
I don't know, because
like I'm 47 and
doing stuff like he's in the Always
I'm 47. Yeah, but I'm 47. I remember when he was in Taxi.
Yeah, he was in Taxi, and he was a grown.
But how old was he?
Like a grown man.
He
must have been in his
40s
or something, right?
He had to be in his 30s. Because that was
he
in
just
the 70s.
Always looks like he's 40 years old, except for maybe now.
How old is...
Like, he probably looked like he was 40 when he was 12.
Where's my phone? I need to figure out how old he is. It's just insane.
Yeah.
You know, like, he's just like, he has to be in his 80s, right?
Probably, yeah.
He's 80. He's 80. Wow.
Yeah.
And like, he's such a... he's pretty healthy.
Yeah.
He's pretty funny.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy. So if he's 80 now, 40 years ago, wow, he was 40. He was 40. He was in his late 30s when he did Taxi.
Mm.
That's wild.
Wow.
What a weird time thing. Yeah. He's like, how old? I'm 47. If I live to be 80, that's a long time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He's been, that's a pretty good life. Okay. So he had to be in his 50s when he did.
Yeah. Right.
When he did
Batman Returns.
Yeah. Wow. Crazy. Time's a weird thing. Anyway, my number 2 is Batman.
Oh, nice. Okay. So is mine.
You have
my number 2 is also Batman. Michael Keaton and Jack Nicholson.
Yeah. You have to give this movie the respect it deserves. This movie was probably one of the most hyped movies of all time. Mm-hmm. It's a spectacle movie. Warner Brothers really decided to go in this route where now most movies are trying to do that, where it's like super hype, make everybody want to go see it. The summer blockbuster.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Like, it's like broke records. Everybody went to see it. Sold toys.
Soundtrack by Prince.
Soundtrack by Prince, which is fantastic. Jack Nicholson being the most Jack Nicholson of Jack Nicholson's. Just brings the Joker to a place that no one's ever seen. Just like, and like all this stuff, Michael Keaton is barely even there. Like, he's Batman, but he's not really anything anyone cares about. You know, what's the woman's name? What's her name?
It was Vicky Vale was the character.
Vicky Vale. She was a big hit back then.
Yeah, who was what's the actress's name? I can't remember.
What? Your Wikipedia's not up? I'll pull mine up.
No.
What's the worst?
She's from Georgia, I think.
Well, how do you know where she's from?
Didn't she like buy the town that she was born in or something?
Yeah, didn't she marry somebody pretty famous?
I don't know. That I don't know.
No, not the Batman. Batman. Okay, it starts with a. It starts with a K. It ends with a B. Kim Basinger.
Kim Basinger. Yeah. Okay.
Basinger.
I think it's Basinger.
Basinger.
Okay.
Basinger. She wasn't anything to talk about really, and like
Come on.
I kind of feel she wasn't. It's just like she's just a woman that gets into harm's way, and Batman has to save her life.
Well, she did a good job.
She screamed a lot, which annoyed me.
Yeah.
What is she married to somebody? What is she married to Alec Baldwin? Yeah.
I mean, maybe that makes sense. Sure.
She was in that Eminem movie, 8 Mile.
Really? Oh, she played his mom, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so Batman, probably the most important comic book movie ever made. Probably the most successful comic book movie ever made.
Yeah.
Probably, I wouldn't say the best, but it's definitely something that you have to put in the time capsule.
Most successful of its time, like at its time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's my number 2, so I totally agree. Yeah.
I mean, it's not my favorite. And it has some issues.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't watched it in years.
Michael Keaton is my favorite Batman.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's something to say.
I think he's the best at both. You know,
I don't know.
Other actors are better at Batman or Bruce Wayne.
Bruce Wayne.
You know, and I think Michael Keaton does the best job at being both.
I don't think I've seen my favorite yet.
Well, maybe you'll see him when you watch The Batman.
No.
You might?
I doubt it. No. I'm okay. But I think the Batman that I really am going to like has not played the
Let go of your vampire movie hate.
Nope. Not going to do that. Okay. My number, I don't know what your number one is.
I know what your number 1 is.
But I'm really afraid.
Your number 1 is my number 5.
But I'm really afraid of your number 1 because the rest of these movies are bad. So I think you should just go first. Just pull the band-aid off.
The best Batman movie is the Lego Batman.
Oh,
without a doubt.
It's not as bad as I thought.
Without a doubt.
All right. Yeah, we've done.
It's the best Batman movie. It's the only Batman movie that we did on our other podcast, Super Side Show.
Yeah. In the show notes, put a link to our Super Side Show.
Absolutely.
Who can listen
for
to
sure. It's eminently rewatchable. You can always rewatch it and have a good time. It's got a great story. It's got great Easter eggs. What's his name? What's the guy that does the voice?
Batman.
Well, yeah, but what's the actor that does the Batman voice?
I don't know. It's your favorite movie. I have no idea.
He's the guy from Arrested Development.
Oh, what's his face?
Yeah. Anyway, he's good. His voice is awesome. I mean, he's doing I guess, his take on the Christopher Nolan Batman voice, but it's I think it's a better Batman voice because you can actually understand what he's saying. I
respect your decision. I don't agree with it, nor do I support it.
I will say, however, to back me up a little bit, I did also take a look at Rotten Tomatoes' ranking of Batman movies. And they put Lego Batman at number 2.
I don't know. Do I watch movies to be entertained? I don't think so.
Why are you watching movies?
Know. I don't know. I want to see their writing decisions. I want to see their acting.
There's a lot of great writing decisions on the Lego Batman.
Mike, I'm just going to tell you the truth.
Like the scene,
I'll never go watch
the scene where he's like throwing the batarang at a button, and he like throws it like 5 times before he hits the button, and then when he does hit the button, he goes something like "first time" or something. It's excellent writing.
It's funny, but I'm not. No, you know what the problem is for me? I don't like laughing when it comes to TV shows and movies that much. Sometimes I do. Like I'll watch some TV shows and stuff and it's funny. That's fine.
Did you watch The Hangover?
I don't know. Yeah, I watched it.
Did you like it?
I will not pay money to go to a theater to watch a funny movie.
Really?
That's for sure.
Wow.
I do not like paying money for that.
Bridesmaids? Bridesmaids?
No. That's the thing. I forgot my rule. I do not pay money to go laugh. That's kind of why I didn't want. That's why I kind of didn't want to go see Deadpool, because it's like a funny movie,
so
kind of
sad.
But I paid for it. It is sad. It's fun. It's also economically prudent. Like, you know, I can laugh right now. This
feels like some kind of like deep rooted childhood issue or something. Like,
I guess.
Yeah.
All right, number one, which is I don't care what your list is. I don't care what people say. The Dark Knight by Christopher Nolan is the best Batman movie ever made.
Okay, yeah, it's good. It made my top 5.
It's the best made, and I'm going to give you 3 reasons why.
Okay, why?
One, first of all, is the storyline.
Yeah,
which is trying to show some of the limits of being Batman, and some of the not just the limits, but like what happens when Batman is pushed against the wall the hardest, and what is he willing to do? And if you go to the comics, there's a couple of comic book stories. One where Bruce Willis is accused of murder, and he actually has to abandon his Bruce Willis persona, and it's just the Batman. There's also some interesting philosophical debates that Bruce Willis isn't an actual person. Like Batman is the actual mate. Did
you say character. Bruce Willis?
I'm sorry, Bruce Willis. Bruce Wayne. I'm sorry. Shout out to Bruce Willis.
Bruce Willis is an actual person.
Yeah. No, but like, you know how, like, okay, you are Mike, you know, but if you were a superhero, you'd be called Super Mike, right? There is no civilian persona for Batman. Bruce Wayne isn't a real person. It's just Batman. That is who he is. Like even when he takes off the mask and is naked in the shower, he's not Bruce Wayne. He's Batman. And so there's some interesting debate about that. I thought that
some people say that Bruce Wayne is the alter ego.
That's what I just did all that.
You just said that he's not even an alter ego. He's always Batman.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Okay.
Yeah. What else? He goes through a lot of tragedies. I love how they worked in Two-Face. I think that, of course, the Joker is my God. He's so good. It's just ridiculously good. Tragically good, in fact. When you watch it again, it's just so well done. The whole movie. And
who's better, Heath Ledger or Jack Nicholson?
Heath Ledger, without a doubt. And to be fair, people don't know that the movie Heat by Michael Mann was inspiration for this movie.
How so?
Well, okay, so the soundtrack, the bank robbery scene at the very beginning, the action scenes, all kinds of stuff are based off of Heat. If you actually watch Heat, then watch The Dark Knight.
You know what I think? I think you should probably just watch Heat then. You know.
Okay, that's fine, but the movie is a stylistic triumph, and also just the filming of it, the widescreen is so good. It's everything about this movie is fantastic. Best Batman movie ever.
Yeah, yeah, it's up there with Lego Batman, I guess, in some people's eyes. I mean, it's up there. It's up there for me. It's in the top 5.
Okay,
it's right there with Lego Batman.
All right, that's fine.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
All right, so Mike, how can people share your thoughts and my thoughts?
Yeah, we're on Threads and Blue Sky, right?
We're getting there. I'm going to try. We're getting there. I'm working on it.
And just wherever. I know it's hard to search for something that's just named 5, but you can search for 5 with Mike and Jay, and usually that'll help you find us. At some point, that'll help you find us on Blue Sky. It'll help you find us on Threads right now. Also, hit that share button and share this with your friends and your family and anybody you've ever seen a Batman movie with. Hit the share button. Send this podcast to them. Say, what do you think? Is it Lego Batman or is it The Dark Knight?
It's
Lego
awesome.
Batman.
It's the Dark Knight. It's fun. I mean, I'm not even going to go into this anymore. So that's our 5 Batman movies. If you're on Threads or hopefully in Blue Sky by the end of the day, if you're there and you're listening, shoot us a little contact. Let us know what your 5 are.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
We didn't. There's lots of other Batman movies, and most of them are terrible. So there you go.
Yeah, I was looking through like all of the people that have been Batman. You've got Val Kilmer is Batman once. George Clooney is Batman once.
Ben Affleck, which I think
Ben Affleck is like Batman in a bunch of movies that don't matter.
Yeah, that's true. He should have his own movie.
Yeah. So.
All right, guys. See you next time.